Hey everyone, welcome. Today we are going to look into the singleton pattern and how to use it and when to use it. So a singleton pattern basically restricts the instantiation of a class to one single instance, and we can use that instance globally anywhere within our code. So here on the screen you can see a simple example of a singleton. So we have this class called Singleton, which has a static instance, and our user class 1 and class 2 can use this Singleton instance, and in our code there will always be only one copy of this Singleton class. Let's see this in action. So here I have opened up an empty project. First of all, let's create our singleton. So let's create a script called singleton. And let's open it up. Once our script has loaded, let's create the singleton. So in order to do that, we will basically create a public static singleton instance, and in the awake function we are simply going to say that if the instance is equal to null, then we would set the instance to this, which means basically the singleton class. Else, if it's not equal to null, then we would destroy the instance, because at a single time there can only be one instance of this class. Now how to use this? It's really easy. So let's go back to the editor and let's create an empty object. Name it anything you want, and let's drag and drop the script onto it. And now let's create another empty script. Let's call this logger, and let's create a script over here called logger. Let's attach this over here and open it up. Now we would use this singleton class to log some messages. And we can do that simply in the update function, and I would say that if input.get mouse button down 0, then I want the singleton dot instance, and let's create a function over here quickly. Let's create a public void log a message, and let's just say debug.log, and this would be message, and this would be string message, and over here we'll say log message, and we'll pass in our message subscribe. Now in the logger class we don't have any reference to the singleton, but we can still use it since it's a public static. And similarly, this singleton can be used in any other class if we want to. So let's test it out. Now if I click, you should see a message subscribe. I click again, we can see the message again. What if we were not using a singleton? Then what we would do is we would create a serialized field or a public field inside this class and attach our singleton to it and then use that. While singletons are useful, sometimes they can lead to issues. By that I mean sometimes we might overuse it. By overuse, what I mean is that it's easy to use a singleton to do certain things, and basically as game developers what we do is we just call singleton do this, singleton do that everywhere inside our code, which leads to tight coupling, and it's really hard to debug your code then. And where should we use our singletons? Basically we should use it. For instance, we have, let's say, a really simple use case would be inside our game manager to manage the state of our game. So that is where we can use the singletons. Another place would be a service provider. Basically our game has certain services like audio systems and inputs or data providers. So all of these can be inside a singleton service provider, and we can use that one singleton to get access to any service we want. So that was a quick introduction to singletons, how we use it and why we use them and why we shouldn't use them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.